Good evening and welcome to COVID-19 updates coming to you live from our broadcast studio in Lagos. I am Kemi Omoshebi.
And I am Omolola Ololade. You're welcome on today's program.
All right, before any other thing, let's take some of the stories we have in Nigeria and also outside Nigeria, starting with Nigeria.
Yeah, on the local scene, an official diplomatic document has emerged showing that the Chinese government detailed how 72 Nigerians tested positive for COVID-19 in Guangzhou, China. The document, rough number SWZ 2020-0128, dated April 22, 2020 by the Foreign Affairs Office, Guangzhou Municipal People's Government, outlined the profile of the cases and advised Nigerians resident in China to comply with the law of their host in controlling the pandemic. It was earlier reported that 70 Nigerians, 111 others, Africans in China test positive, which some Nigerians have mounted to a strident campaign against, claiming that the story was false. The Minister of Health, Dr. Sage Hanire, has said about 40 health workers in the country have tested positive for coronavirus. Hanire stated this during the COVID-19 Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 media briefing in Abuja on Thursday, urged all health workers to remain vigilant. Also, the chairman of the Lagos State Branch of Medical Guard, Dr. Oluwajimi Shodipo, said 3 members of the association at the Elimosho General Hospital and the Lagos State Teaching Hospital, Luth Ikeja, had tested positive for COVID-19. Shodipo, in an interview with one of our correspondents on Thursday, said the 3 doctors have been admitted to different isolation facilities in Lagos for treatment. He said the medical conditions of the 3 doctors who had been exposed to COVID-19 cases were stable. And finally, on the local scene, the police in Abuja have arrested. And finally, in Abuja, the police in Abuja have arrested 1,909 persons for violating the presidential lockdown order. The FCT Commissioner of Police, Balas Roma, disclosed on Friday that 1,736 were convicted by 13 mobile courts, adding that 145 persons were discharged and 28 cases adjourned. He said in the last couple of weeks, the command has been on the streets enforcing the presidential lockdown order to contain the spread of the COVID-19 virus, which is today a global health issue. In the course of this enforcement exercise, persons arrested for violating the presidential directive are arraigned before mobile court. The convicted violators were sentenced to community service or asked to pay a fine. The Commissioner of Police enjoined traditional, religious, and community leaders to complement the effort of the government to contain the spread of the virus by using their influence to educate and enlighten the people on the need to observe the lockdown order. Kemi, what do you have for us in France?
All right, moving down to stories outside Nigeria, the U.S. virus death toll has surpassed 50,000, according to data from Johns Hopkins University, in what is the worst deathless COVID-19 outbreak. More than 3,000 deaths came in the last 24 hours, and there are now over 870,000 confirmed cases nationwide. But the United States still has a lower mortality rate than most European nations based on current case count, as the White House Task Force has emphasized. The grim news comes as part of the United States reopen after weeks of lockdown. The U.S. virus death toll has surpassed 50,000 according to the data from the Johns Hopkins University in what is the world's deadliest COVID-19 outbreak. Moving down to Egypt, majority of Muslims across the world started Ramadan fasting today, but across the Middle East, preparations for the month-long religious exercise was dampened thanks to the global threat of the novel coronavirus. The faithful who have witnessed the cancellation of iftar, fast-breaking feast, and the suspension of prayers at the mosques as part of efforts to slow the spread of the virus have expressed concerns over the situation. Usually during Ramadan, Muslims fast from dawn to dusk and then gather in the evening for a family or community meal before the great feast of Eid al-Fitr, which marks the end of Ramadan. They believe it is a period of reflection and socialization during which merchants make profit, but confinement in some countries has slowed down business. Finally, on stories outside Nigeria, South Africa has become a COVID-19 model for the continent in many ways since it confirmed its index case on 5th of March 2020. From the area of testing through to record number of recoveries, South Africa has been praised for proactiveness in combating the virus. The economic intervention measures rolled out by President Cyril Ramaphosa has also been classed as one of the most comprehensive across the continent. South Africa was one of the earliest to roll out such measures. Challenges have been recorded in the area of enforcing the 3-week lockdown, which was augmented by 2 weeks. Spike in cases at certain point, an incident of shoplifting, and increase in domestic violence cases have all been headaches Pretoria continues to deal with. That's all we have for your stories outside Nigeria as regards COVID-19. Now we are going to be taking a look at statistics of the numbers of confirmed cases we have globally and also in Nigeria. All right, starting with Nigeria.
Starting with Nigeria. Nigeria has a total number of confirmed cases at 981. Then we have 197 discharged cases, and of course we have 31 deaths. A breakdown of this by state. We'll start with Lagos, which of course is the epicenter of the virus here in Nigeria. Lagos has 582 confirmed cases, 460 active cases, 106 discharges, and 16 deaths. We move to the northern part of Nigeria, Abuja. Abuja has 133 number of confirmed cases, 95 active cases, 35 discharged, and 3 deaths. In Kano, we have 73 confirmed cases, 72 active cases, no discharge, and 1 death. In Ogun State has 29 number of confirmed cases, 23 active cases, 5 discharge, and 1 death. In Katsina State, Katsina has 21 confirmed cases, 20 active cases, 0 number of discharge, and 1 death. In Osun State, we have 20. In Osun State, we have 20 number of confirmed cases, 2 active cases, 18 discharge, and 0 death. In Oyo State has 17 number of confirmed cases, 11 active cases, 5 discharges, and 1 death. In the southern part of Nigeria, we have Edo State, we have 17 cases, 17 confirmed cases, 8 active cases, 7 discharges, and of course 2 deaths. In Borno State has 12 confirmed cases, 10 active cases, no discharge, and of course 2 deaths. In Kwara State has 11 number of confirmed cases, 9 active cases, 2 discharges, and no death. In Akwa Ibom has 11 number of confirmed cases, 7 confirmed cases, 3 discharge, and 1 death. In Kaduna State, Kaduna has 9 number of confirmed cases, 5 active cases, 4 discharges, and no death. Down to Gombe State, Gombe has 9 number of confirmed cases, 9 active cases, no discharge, and no death. In Bauchi State, Bauchi has about 8 confirmed cases, 3 active cases, 5 discharges, and 0 deaths. In Delta State, it has 6 confirmed cases, 5 active cases, 0 discharge, and 1 death. In Ekiti State, Ekiti has 4 confirmed cases, 1 active case, 2 discharges, and 1 death. In Ondo State has 3 confirmed cases, 2 active cases, 1 discharge, and no death. Now, Abia State, Abia has 2 confirmed cases, 2 active cases, 0 discharge, and no death. In Enugu State, Enugu has 2 confirmed cases, 0 active case, 2 discharges, and no death. In Rivers, Rivers has 3 confirmed cases, 0 active case, 2 discharges, and 1 death. In Niger State, Niger and Jigawa State has 2 confirmed cases, 2 active cases, no death, and no recovery. In Benue State, Anambra, and Sokoto State. Benue State, Anambra State, Sokoto, Adamawa, and Plateau all have 1 confirmed case each, 1 active case, 0 discharge, and 0 death, which makes a total number of 981 confirmed cases, 753 active cases, 197 discharges, and of course 31 deaths in Nigeria. Kemi, let's hear from you.
All right, globally, we have 2,769,113 cases globally. And we have number of deaths to be 194,545 number of total deaths globally. And number of recovered patients globally, we have 771,129 recovered persons globally. And looking at the all cases, presently we have 1,830,439 currently infected patients globally. And also in mild conditions of 97%, we have 1,771,995 patients with mild condition, while patients with serious or critical conditions takes 3% of the total number of confirmed cases, which is 58,444 cases of people with serious and critical condition. Now, taking a look at some of the states, looking at United States, total confirmed cases so far in United States, we have 903,202 in United States. We also have new cases of 16,760 new cases in United States of America, and the total number of deaths we have in United States of America is 50,952. All right, taking a look at Spain, we have 219,764 confirmed cases in Spain, and new cases in Spain is 6,740. The total number of deaths we have in Spain is 22,524 total number of deaths in Spain. In Italy, we have 192,994 total case in Italy. We have new cases in Italy to be 3,021. Also, total death in Italy, we have 25,969 total death in Italy. In France, we have 158,183 total cases in France, with no new case in France, but the total number of deaths we have in France is 21,856. Now, taking a look at some of the African countries, we're starting with Egypt. Egypt have 4,092 total cases presently, and the new cases we have in Egypt is 201, and the total number of deaths in Egypt is 294. Also in South Africa, we have 3,953 total case in South Africa, with no new case, and also total number of deaths in South Africa is 75. In Morocco, we have 3,692 cases in Morocco, and we also have 124 new cases in Morocco, and we have 155 total deaths in Morocco. And in Algeria, we have 3,127 total cases in Algeria, plus 120,000 new cases, plus 415 total deaths in Algeria. Now let's take a look at Ghana finally. In Ghana, we have 1,279 total cases in Ghana. We have 125 additional cases in Ghana. And we have 10 deaths totally in Ghana. In African country totally, we have 28,995 total cases presently in Africa. And the new cases we have in Africa totally is 903. And the number of deaths in Africa is 1,319. And the total number of confirmed cases Globally, again, I'm repeating, is 2,769,113. And the number of deaths we have globally is 545, sorry, and the total number of recovered patients globally is 771,129. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, COVID-19 update continues. Stay with us.
Hey, Musa, what are you doing to keep safe from the coronavirus?
I have to stay at my house and wash my hands. I have to stay at my house.
Staying home can help keep you safe from getting the virus.
And wash my hands.
Yep, you should always wash your hands with soap and water to stay healthy. Wash your hands for at least 20 seconds, or you can sing happy birthday 2 times. Those are some great tips, Musa.
Welcome back. You're still watching COVID-19 update on MITV. Let's now take a look at some of the precautionary measures. One of the major one that has been announced recently is the fact that everyone has to be on their face masks, and the federal government, Lagos State government in particular, also said that everyone starting from next week is so compulsory that we all wear our face masks, and it is important that we know how it is being worn and what we should do and what we should not do. We need to put it on hygienically and properly. So we'll be highlighting some of the things we need to do in order to do it properly.
Yeah, I'm talking about face mask. I'm going to be telling you how to interact properly with your face mask. I'm starting with cleaning your hands. Number one says you have to clean your hands with soap and water or hand sanitizer before touching the mask. Avoid touching the front of the mask. The front of the mask is contaminated. Only touch the ear loops, the band. Follow the instructions below for the type of mask you're wearing. Let's talk about face mask with ear loops. You hold both of the ear loops and gently lift and remove the mask. Face mask with ties. Untie the bottom bow first, then untie the top bow and pull the mask away from you. The ties are loosened. Face mask with bands. Lift the bottom strap over your head, then pull the top strap over your head. Throw the mask in the trash and then ensure that you clean your hands again, wash your hands again after throwing it hygienically.
All right, and also it is also important that apart from making use of our masks, it is important that we follow other precautionary measures like washing of our hands. Washing of our hands is very, very important, at least for 20 seconds before we do anything. We should make sure that we wash our hands properly. And also, if we don't have the water and soap, it is important that we make use of the alcohol-based hand sanitizers. We should use it properly. And also, it is important that we engage ourselves in social distancing. We know that Nigeria currently, we are some states in Nigeria, we are on lockdown, and it is important that we comply to all of this so that we can actually flatten the curve of COVID-19 all over. the country, and also in Nigeria in particular. And this is actually because of us and not for any other person. I don't know, Lola, if you have anything to say.
You can not overemphasize the importance of social distancing, because that has been proven that is one of the major, most effective way to curb the spread of coronavirus at this time. And so we have to social distance. That is if you must go out. But if you don't have, if you're not on an essential duty and you're not going out to get food or essential, materials, please stay at home, because the Lagos State is on lockdown. Lagos State, and we employ everyone to please stay at home. We cannot overemphasize the importance of staying at home. And the fact that you're also at home doesn't mean you have to forget about precautionary measures. Like Kemi has said, you must wash your hands as often as possible. And another important thing will be that with disinfectant our surrounding, make sure that you use disinfectant to take care of your surroundings, all surroundings, like your glass, your door handles, everything. Make sure that you don't get contaminated by coronavirus. That's one of the major ways to avoid this spread at this time.
All right, still talking about the use of face masks, it is important that we use it whenever we're going out publicly. There's so many people that are asymptomatic, which means they don't have any symptoms. They don't show any form of symptoms. So people that doesn't show the symptoms, they are likely to have been infected, but they don't know because they're not showing any symptoms. But making use of the face mask will protect each and every one of us when we are together publicly. So it is important that we make use of our face mask, because we don't know who is who. We don't know who is asymptomatic. That is one of the reasons that we need to make use of our face masks. And talking about the face masks, we can make use of any form of material, clean material for our face masks. It's not compulsory we make use of the surgical mask. The governor of Lagos State actually said that we should not make use of the surgical mask, that we should leave that for the doctors. Reason being that so many people don't know how to make use of the surgical mask properly. So we are advised to use clothing materials, and we can use our scarf for ladies. We can use handkerchief, clean handkerchief, because when we use it is what you can actually wash it. It's just so it is important that when we are making use of our face masks, we don't also touch the surface of the mask. We make sure that we don't touch it. And most importantly, let us avoid social distancing. And do you have any final word?
Yes, my final word would be that, like Hemi will always say, that the virus doesn't move, we move the virus. So at this time, it would be advisable that we all stay at home, except you're an essential duty. I repeat again, you must stay at home. And if you have to, get food or any other essential product, the family can just try as much as possible to send one person, so that and when the person comes back, make sure you wash your hands and disinfect yourself, so that the other part of the family doesn't get affected. Please, at this time, let's try to curb the spread of coronavirus by adhering to all instructions by the state government. Do stay safe.
All right, it's also important that we know that the Ramadan season is here and it has started today. We will tell our Muslim brothers and sisters to actually bear with this moment and try their possible best to follow the precautionary measures. We know that Muslims will always gather together to pray together and enjoy the moment, but fine, we know that the lockdown and coronavirus has come to just take a toll on each and every one of us, but then we should not give up and remember Nigeria in our prayers. Also to all students out there, education is important. Don't stop learning, and it is important that we also try as much as possible to learn by ourselves, personal development, and definitely we shall overcome this moment. And for me, don't forget that the virus is not moved, we move the virus. I am Kemi Omoshibi. Please stay safe.
Now I'm Omolola Ololade. Stay safe. Thank you.